It's Transforce96 here with another video review. This time we have the Batman Arkham Knight Play Arts Sky Harley Quinn. So overall I'm just starting to get into Play Arts figures. I do just purchase Harley Quinn from Asylum. Now I did just buy the Knight one, and overall they're turning out to be quite nice. I'm very much enjoying them. So yeah, here's the package for the Arkham Knight Harley Quinn. As you can see, looking pretty nice there. You've got a picture of the figure, but with a rainy background, the smokiness with the moon there, giving you that Arkham Knight type of feel. The box can be opened. As you can see here, it's just a magnet. On the side, you get a picture of the figure, and over here, you get a picture of the, you get the figure in package. You've got a nice kind of clock tower type of artwork going on at the bottom. Overall, quite a nice box. On the back, you've got some nice pictures of the figure and different poses that you can have her in, which is quite nice, as well as another figure in there in the series, the Arkham Knight himself. So overall, the box is quite nice, but let's get on to the figure. So here's Harley Quinn out of the package, but before we go into the figure, let's go over her accessories. So in total, you get 6 hands from Harley Quinn. First of all, you get a relaxed palm for each side. Then for her left side, she comes with a hand that is meant for holding the bat. Then for her right, she comes with a hand that's meant for kind of holding the tip of the rim of her policeman cap, or for looking at her nails. Overall, a really nice, kind of interesting hand there. You get another hand that's more open, more gesture-like. Can also be used to kind of hold her hip. And then she does come with another hand that is meant for holding the gun. Overall, the array of hands is nice. I would have liked more variety on both sides. As far as I like a hand that was meant for holding the gun for her left arm as well, and not just the right. Same thing with the gestural one, or the one for holding or putting her hand on her hip. Would have liked one for the other side as well on that. Fists, I think, are very unnecessary for Harley Quinn. It would be a pretty boring figure if you just used her fists, so I do like the fact that she doesn't come with any of those because they're unnecessary. I would have also liked some more just gestural hands in general, hands in kind of weird positions, almost like a Jack Sparrow figure would come with, just because it's the type of character she is. She's kind of kooky, so it would be nice to get some extra hands for that, for those purposes. But the hands that we do get are quite nice, and I'm pretty happy with them. So of course we're going to get Harley Quinn's signature bat. As you can see, I still have the hand connected to it just because it's kind of a tight fit, so I'd rather just leave it like that. Overall, the bat though is really nicely done. It's a wonderful, pretty bright silver that has some sparkle into it, almost, it looks very realistic. The red is really nice, and it's because it also has scratches of paint, makes it look very natural and realistic, and that's throughout all the red painting, which is really well done. The black is more solid, there's not scratches or anything on that. And then this side is more textured, although I don't remember Harley Quinn's bat having this texture to it. I could be wrong though, and I probably am wrong, but just I personally don't really remember Harley Quinn's bat like this. And whenever I'm taking a picture of Harley Quinn while she's holding her bat, I always make sure that the striped side is kind of facing the camera there, because I think it just has a cooler look this way. But overall, the bat is fantastic. It's the perfect size, and it just looks really nice. Very well detailed and really realistic looking. You do also get a pistol, as well as the policeman hat that she does, in the trailer for the Arkham Knight, does take from a police officer and puts on her head. Overall, these are nice accessories. On the weapon here, it looks really nicely done. I like the way it looks. It's got some nice texture and detail in there. And I like that kind of gunmetal look to it. It's kind of got that sparkle. Looks very realistic, and I do like that a lot. It's in her hand, very nice. She doesn't really put her finger in the trigger hole, but she puts it like around there, so it still looks fine. It would have been nice if it did kind of fit into the trigger, but it's not a big deal. And she does have a very tight grip, which is why I'm just leaving the hand in this position at the moment, because it's kind of, hard to take out or whatnot. But overall, it does look quite nice, and she holds it very sturdy and very well. She comes with the cap as well, looking really good with the policeman symbol there. It's very nice, and it's a dark blue, and as it gets closer to the center, it does become more of a lighter blue. They've painted it very well as sculpted it very well. It's extremely nice. Overall, looking quite nice in there. So let's get these on her and show you how she looks holding the gun, as well as with the police hat on. Alright, so here's Harley Quinn with the policeman hat as well as the gun, and then the shorter hair that's meant to go with the police hat. So as you can see, she looks really cool with this, you know. These were accessories that I wasn't actually looking forward to, you know. I thought that I'd really never use them. However, you know, as of filming this right now, I think I'm going to leave her displayed like this just for a little bit, and then I'll probably change her back to a more classic Harley Quinn. But I think this is a really neat design choice, you know. It's awesome when a figure comes with accessories, or items that kind of change the feel of the figure, and these are the type of accessories that kind of do that here. So very neat. I like the police hat a lot. It's detailed nicely, like I showed you, and it looks pretty good. There's no like real way that it's supposed to fit on her head. Like there's not like a sculpted areas where her hair should fit in or anything like that. You do just kind of have to put it on her head, and it's slightly smaller than her head, so if you know, put it on hard, it'll probably or should stay for you, depending on the angle that you have it. I do have it a little tilted there. I think that straight on would just look too perfect for a Harley Quinn. She's got to have it a little tilted, so I think that looks nicer. And the gun is really nice. Like, she holds it well, and it's kind of big too. It just looks really neat. And I've kind of got her holding it up, but with her wrist kind of pointed down. You know, I just try to get her in a Harley Quinn style of pose using this. Overall, looking fantastic here. Really do like these accessories a lot more than I even expected to. So they're very nice, and they look good on Harley. Alright, so one of my favorite things about the figure is the variety as far as faces and hair. I think that this is really nice and something that the Harley Quinn from the Arkham Asylum that I have was lacking, as well as the Arkham City one also does just come with the one face. So very happy that we do get quite a variety here as far as the hair and faces for this Harley Quinn. First of all, we have two faces. One is more of a standard, almost more of a serious face with a slight smirk. See if it focus. There we go. As you can see, the one on the right here is more standard, just kind of a serious face with a bit of a smirk, while the other one is looking up a bit more, has some more personality, mouth is open, she looks very upset, which I like a lot. I think that is a fantastic head sculpt. I think one of the faces that we are completely missing that's probably need the most for Harley Quinn, however, is a just kind of funny or playful type of face, you know, maybe with her lips kind of perched, you know, kind of like they're, she's got like a kind of kissing there, or, you know, winking or laughing or smiling much larger than the small smirk we have on this right face. So I would have liked some more expressive ones, you know. I love the angry expressive, that is fantastic, but we do need more of a playful or happy expressive rather than this more serious face that we have. So would have been wonderful if the serious face was replaced with more of a happy or funny type of face. That's my number one complaint about this figure, that it is lacking a big smile or a big playful type of face, which I think Harley Quinn desperately needs. And so it is quite frustrating because you get her in a pose like that, and then you're like, well, which face do I use? You know, the expressive one, I need some sort of expressive face, but the only expressive face I have is angry, so it just doesn't work, and it's very disappointing, and really a big bummer that we do not have a face that shows some real good Harley Quinn expression. But I love the anger one. I think the anger one looks great. It's just she's angry, so you got to put her in a pose where she'd look like that. So yeah. As far as the hair, we have two different styles. Just the main front hair, or the bangs almost. We have the ones that are kind of flowing back. They look like they have some movement or motion, like a wind is kind of throwing there, or she's, you know, kind of brushed it up with her hand or something. Overall, really like that a lot. And then we have one that are just standard, kind of that are down, you know, towards that are just hanging down like with gravity. Then we have with the pigtails or the ponytails there, we have two that are just for the hair piece that has the hair that's flowing back, and that's the ones that also have movement in them, like they're being blown in the wind, and they are on ball hinges, so you can pose them, which is awesome. And then the other hair sculpt comes with, you can have two different options. You have a very flat ponytails that are meant for just using when she's wearing the policeman hat. So those are really restrictive to only if she has the police hat on, but they can also swivel while they are in her head. And then just two standard ones that are just kind of down, they can also swivel while they're in her head. So overall, really happy with the variety of faces that we have here, and different options with the hair and everything. I really do like all the options, although I think that they are missing one very important option when it comes to the face. However, these are quite nice. They stay on all right. Like if we put it on here, you've got to get her, oh sorry, you can't see. right there, and then you kind of just have to put her forehead in place, and then she kind of plugs in. And when you are posing her, because there is a neck peg here, when you pose her looking down, it'll probably pop out like this a little bit. It is quite annoying, but it's just basically because the ball joint doesn't have as much articulation as you would want on the head there to be able to pose her without having her face pop out. Overall, though, really love the variety as far as what you can do with her head. So overall, going over the sculpt and paint of the figure is just very nice. As you can see, I've already talked about the head sculpt, but here it is just on the body so you can see it fully. Overall, looking really nice there. The red is painted pretty nicely. I mean, on the strap there, it is, you know, slightly mispainted. You've got a little bit of red on the black, as well as maybe just the slightest bit of red in the corner there on her actual skin. Not a big deal. It's painted quite nicely though. They did a good job, and I like the black or blue that they've used. It's very nice, you know. They've used a very dark blue that is so dark in some places it almost looks black. Like right here in the skirt, it is actually still blue, but it's so dark that it actually has a blackish look, as well as in the legs and on the torso here on the ab section. They have used blue with black painted highlights. I mean, it really nicely done. I like it a lot. I'm not quite 100% sure how accurate it is, but I think it looks fantastic. So I'm very happy with what they chose to do with the red, or the black, or the blue, sorry. And they've kind of matched it on the other side with the red, where they did kind of use some very dark black highlights in it to make them match, but to kind of give the blue a almost blackish look. If you do prefer the red and black type of look, this has a little bit more of it than the actual game probably did. It was probably more of a brighter blue and not so much of a kind of mix. I like this a lot though. I think it looks good. On the back there, on her corset, you do have all the little straps there. It looks really nicely done, very well detailed, and the paint does seem to be painted pretty even. I mean, slight red on there, just like right there, right above there. It's very small though and slight and nothing too bad, but it is you know, something to say. So overall done nicely, and all the little straps on her arm there, wonderfully done. They've painted and sculpted it very nicely with very minimal quality control issues. Overall, really do like it a lot. So now articulation on her is quite good as well. Of course, this is the drawing point, I would say, to Play Arts, is their articulation. They're really well articulated figures. So overall with the head, she does have a ball joint at the top of her head. However, it really doesn't have much movement. As far as the up and down holding her neck in place, this is about as much up and down as she gets, and she can go side to side. The ball joint can go down more, but if you do it, it'll pop her face out of place. As you can see, it is popping her face out of place. So it is definitely disappointing and very much annoying when you try to pose her. You know, her head is being popped out right now, so it is very much annoying. Wish they would have found a way to put a ball joint, just taking her face off in general so you can see it. As you can see here, I wish that there was more range of movement on the ball joint on the inner neck, and not leaving so much of the movement to the upper neck of the peg. So wish that there was some more space in there so that you can look down more without letting the ball joint at the top be solely responsible for looking down, because that's the ball joint that will knock the face out of place. So would have liked some extra movement at the bottom there so that this wouldn't be such a problem. Just get her face on it. You know, it's pretty easy. You just got to make sure that the hair is facing forward. There we go. Then she has a ball joint at the bottom of her neck down here, which is really interesting, and it's very well hidden, especially with the buckle there. The buckle is attached to the front portion, while the neck, you know, articulation is back there. So it is done quite nice, and she does have decent movement there. She's got a slight ball joint, so that's quite nice. She's got a ball hinge shoulders that, just based on how the hinge is positioned, can also be used as a kind of butterfly joint. She does have a rubber upper torso, which is pretty nice for posing, actually. You know, she doesn't get in the way very much, and she can you know, bend the upper torso or her breast there so that you can actually have more range of movement, which is actually pretty nice. And overall, it is on a ratchet, moves quite nicely, and you can get a lot of dynamic poses with that shoulder joint. She's got a swivel at the bicep there, hidden very well by where the flesh meets the cloth. And then you do have a ball hinge elbow, which swivels at the top and at the bottom here, so that's quite nice. It is on a ratchet as well. Then she has a ball hinge at the wrist. A ball jointed upper torso, obviously because this is rubber as well, you get even more movement, which is fantastic. Can go back very far, can go forward a really decent amount. I mean, pretty nice there, and then side to side. I love that type of that pivot. I think it looks fantastic, as well as rotate in general. So overall, fantastic at that upper torso. She does have a ball joint at her waist. It's a little hard to manipulate just because it's under the skirt, but you can get some movement in there with moving just the thighs forward, back, or side to side. The thighs are on ball joints. Unfortunately, they don't have a swivel waist, but where their swivel comes in is via just by like this. Like, it's very interesting. There's a ball joint there that also has a peg that goes into the leg, and the peg that goes into the leg allows for the swivel, while the ball joint allows for the going forward and back and everything like that, which is interesting. And it is on a ratchet. So overall, quite good articulation, as well as this skirt piece is soft rubber, and it is split on both sides, making so that it really doesn't get in the way of articulation whatsoever, which is fantastic. You've got ball hinge knees, which hinge up very far, almost double jointed basically, and they are ratcheted. You do have a swivel at the, oh, maybe not. I thought there was a swivel at the boot, but there isn't actually, so never mind. There is a swivel though at the bottom of the knee joint there, so you can get a swivel if you want her feet kind of pointed in or something. You can still do that. She's got ball hinge with a pivot on the ankle. The pivot's just about that far. It doesn't go further because of how far the boot sides are hanging down. So overall, articulation is fantastic on her, and it's just why I really am starting to collect Play Arts figures, is because of the really nice articulation, as well as their sculpts are pretty interesting and cool. So overall, really do like the articulation. Let's give you a comparison to some of the other Harley Quinns. As you can see from the same design here, we have the from the, I believe it's DC Collectibles Harley Quinn from Arkham Knight, and then the Play Arts Arkham Asylum Harley Quinn from Asylum. So yeah, so as you can see, quite a big difference between all of them. I mean, just comparing the Play Arts figures, they're very different. Unfortunately, they aren't done in the same scale. You know, back when the Asylum one was made, they were doing it more in an 8-inch scale, while now they're doing it in more of a 10-inch scale. So unfortunately, there is quite a big height difference. I'm very disappointed by this. I can't say the company's done anything wrong, because just over time, they've changed the scale of their figures. So it's not like these two were released at the same period of time and one's way smaller than the other. It's because they have decided to go with a different scale. So I really can't, you know, say anything bad about Play Arts for doing that, but I am very disappointed because it looks like they don't go together. I mean, if the Arkham Asylum one was bigger, they'd look really fantastic together, but unfortunately there's such a height difference that it doesn't look like they're from the same toy line, which is super disappointing, I have to say. And then comparing her to the just DC Direct one, obviously very different. You know, the Play Arts obviously has a more stylized look in general, and then obviously has more detail and more articulation points and everything, so their look are completely different. So overall, this Arkham Knight from Play Arts Kai Harley Quinn is really fantastic. Really liking it a lot. Ton of fun accessories. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with a better face sculpt, which is really needed, but nonetheless, she still comes with just about everything else you could want. Ton of fun with the figure. She also comes with a base. Really quickly, wanted to mention this. I haven't opened up the base. It looks like a pain in the ass to put together, so I just don't plan to do it. And it's just a clear base. Like, it would have been nice if they did something that was more Harley Quinn, you know, exclusive. Like actually had her name on there, or had a Arkham Knight, you know, name tag on there, and made it a black base or something. That would have been better. And she obviously doesn't need it to stand up or anything like that, so she's completely fine without it. But overall, a really fun figure with fantastic articulation, some really nice paint apps, and a good sculpt in general. Overall, very happy with this, and I'm very excited to see what they do for the movie Arkham, or the movie Suicide Squad Harley Quinn. I'm definitely going to get that from Play Arts. Hope they make her, and hope they make it pretty good. So overall, really nice figure. Would highly recommend it. I did purchase it from a Me. I think they might be sold out by now. I don't remember. But with shipping, it was like $85, and she retails for $100. So overall, I think that you should be able to get her for slightly under retail price. So I'd recommend just trying to get her for more around $80, $90 rather than the 100, but she is, I would say, worth the 100. She is a fantastic figure, and she's a good height too, which makes it a little bit more easier to go with the $100 price tag. So there you go. That's my review of the Arkham Knight Play Arts guy, Harley Quinn. Thanks so much for watching.